everybody, and welcome to Effective Feedback, the SBII model. Giving feedback is one of the most critical and valuable skills in a leader's arsenal. It's one of those ones that people talk about and generally don't like doing very much. There's a fear that we might upset people or get it wrong. And part of it is due to our own fears, maybe, of receiving feedback. But it's something that I find that many leaders shy away from. However, it's actually the most rewarding piece that you can ever do. It can be life-changing for people if done well. And there's a really straightforward framework that we'd like to share with you today that will help you deliver really effective feedback, whether it's reinforcing people's strengths, which is really important for people to know. Sometimes they don't realize they're quite as good at these things, or also areas where they could adjust their behavior to be even more effective. One of the first things to note when you're about to give feedback is to prepare it a little bit, and to think about, how am I feeling and why do I want to give them this feedback? Understanding your own intentions about why you're giving them feedback is really critical. We should only give feedback to people when we feel that we have a calm emotional state. Don't deliver feedback if you're feeling angry with somebody or very frustrated. Give feedback when you're wanting people to be able to make a change, either to change to continue to do something, or change because they could do things differently. So you need to be in a calm state of mind and also have positive intent for that individual. Once you're there, think about what you're actually wanting to try and tell them. And this is where we would start to say, look at the situation, replay it so you could describe it so it can be heard in the person's head. So they could see it clearly in their mind's eye, they're back reliving the moment. Describe clearly what happened and what was the behaviors that you saw. And then finally, describe the impact of those behaviors on the people. Ideally, describe some of the feelings people had, and the type of impact it had on people's work. So we really want some clarity there as that happens. Finally, what are they going to do about it? Are they going to do it if you're giving positive feedback about some reinforcing behaviors that somebody did fantastically well? How are they going to replay that and redo it in other situations and different situations going forward? If it's something constructive, what could they do differently next time they're in a similar or same situation, or in different situations where those kind of occurrences could happen? So what could they do? And that's where we start to explore the change of behavior that's required. So I've got an example for you, and I'll go into a role play just now so you can see how it plays out. So Sam, you were in a meeting earlier today. Remember, we were down in room 5 and we all got together, and you were one of the first people in the room, and we said hello as you came in and sat down. Yeah, you remember? So while you were sitting there, you got your phone out, and I could see that you were very engrossed in sorting through whatever it was that was really important for you. And the other members of the team started to come in. They all introduced each other and said, and people glanced over at you, but generally nobody spoke to you. But then Joe came in, and Joe said hi to everybody. He's new to the team, remember? And Joe went, oh, hi, Sam, how are you? And you blanked him completely. You were so engrossed in your phone that you maybe hadn't heard him, or if you did, you chose not to respond. Sam at that moment looked a little bit uncomfortable, and then Peter turned around and said, don't worry, he's always like that. So everybody then sat down and started the meeting. After a few minutes, you put your phone down and joined into the meeting. Now, the impact of that few seconds of when you were completely engrossed and blanked someone is something that's had quite a lasting impact, I think. It destroys some trust in you. It's obviously something that other people have noticed before because someone said, oh, he's always like that. And it destroys your credibility as an empathetic and effective leader going forward. So what can you do? What's your intention to turn this around going forward? So a straightforward example of something that's quite small, but if you can see what I mean when I'm talking about the type of style and the way you can use SBII, it's about really setting the situation very clearly in somebody's head, describing the behavior so they know exactly what it was that they did, and delivering the impact. The impact is not really a judgment, it's just saying what happened and how people felt, and what the results are, and then finally, what do they intend to do about it? So what action can they take? There's a straightforward way. You can use this for positive or constructive feedback. The main thing is go and have some practice, and we're looking forward to working with you as you do that.